In Europe, medieval people watched death in crowded public places. Fields, riversides, castles, and city squares all became stages for punishment. Each ending carried a message about loyalty, faith, or royal power. In this third part, we look at 8 more horrible deaths that reveal how fragile status was in a world ordered by violence. First comes Edmund Ironside, a king whose supposed death in a latrine captured medieval ideas of betrayal and humiliation. In 1016, he fought a campaign against Knut of Denmark, with battles and truces dividing England between them. Later chroniclers described him visiting a privy at night, expecting privacy. An assassin waited in the pit below and thrust a blade upward into his body. Whether believed or not, the story made listeners picture royal dignity vanishing in a blow from beneath. Another death shows how noble sport could turn deadly for Geoffrey Plantagenet, Duke of Brittany. He was the son of Henry II of England, active in late 12th century politics and war. At a tournament near Paris, he rode in heavy armor among packed lines of horses. In the confusion, his mount fell, trapping him beneath metal, leather, and weight. Knights tried to pull him free, but he suffocated from crushing injuries, undone by the very trappings of rank. Richard I of England, the Lionheart, met a quiet but grim end during a small siege in 1199. Away from crusading fronts, he was attacking the stronghold of Chalus-Chabrol in France. One evening, he walked close to the walls without full armor. A crossbowman loosed a bolt that struck his shoulder. Surgeons tried to remove it, but splinters remained, and the wound turned foul. Fever followed, and he died from sepsis that his healers could not master. The treatment of Robert the Bruce's family after 1306 shows how punishment could strike kin as well as rebels. After Bruce killed a rival and was crowned King of Scots, Edward I targeted his household. Bruce's brothers were captured and condemned as traitors. They were hanged, drawn, and quartered, with heads and limbs displayed in English towns. Female relatives faced restraint in cages or houses. These measures warned Scotland that anger at a king could reach through a bloodline. Another fall from power appears in the death of Roger Mortimer, a noble in England. He rose as a marcher lord, then as Queen Isabella's ally when she set aside her husband Edward II. For a time, he ruled for Edward III. Distrust grew, and the king moved against him. In 1330, Edward entered Nottingham Castle and had Mortimer seized. Taken to Tyburn, he was hanged as a traitor before a crowd, treated as a criminal rather than a lord. A different kind of death came with the Black Death, when no scaffold was needed and whole communities sickened together. From 1347, the plague reached ports, then followed roads to settlements. People who seemed healthy one day developed fever and swellings. Dark patches marked the skin, breathing became painful, and many died in days. Houses, streets, and churches held bodies. Clergy and grave diggers struggled to keep pace. These deaths crossed rank and wealth, showing how disease ignored status. In the 16th century, the burning of Thomas Cranmer at Oxford showed how belief could still bring death. Cranmer had been the Archbishop of Canterbury during England's shift to Protestantism. Under Queen Mary, he was imprisoned and urged to deny his work. He signed recantations against his teaching. At his appearance in St. Mary's Church, he withdrew the papers and said his hand had sinned. At stake, he held that hand first in the flames, turning punishment into an act of conscience. The execution of Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat, on Tower Hill in 1747 showed how old rituals survived. Lovat had moved between sides in British politics before backing the Jacobite Rising of 1745. After Culloden, he was captured, tried in London, and condemned for treason. On the day, crowds stood on wooden platforms to watch a last beheading. One platform collapsed, killing people below. Lovat answered with humor, then laid his head on the block to receive the axe. Together, these deaths show how authority, belief, and fear shaped the end of many lives. Subscribe if you would like more explorations of medieval history.